streams of the week, and really excited tonight because haven't really been around as much the past couple of days. There's been a lot going on here at home. There's a lot of decorating and a lot of things that are happening here. So I'm not doing any of it because it wouldn't get done correctly, let's put it that way. But there is a lot of stuff happening. And so as a result, I've been trying to help out where I can. And it means that there's been not many videos on the channel. Of course, we streamed on Wednesday night. I did a kids magazine review, and that's it. That's all we've had time to do. There's been a lot of moving around, and the reason why I'm telling you this, hello to everyone, by the way. The reason why I'm telling you this is because we are going to be leaving from this area. This area is all going to be getting decorated, so it means that future streams are going to be happening downstairs. So yeah, there's going to be some changes. What I might do is I might actually take a picture of this wall and then just use like a green screen so that none of us like freak out at the change in the future. So because it's going to be a big change. Streaming in the figure room rather than streaming here. So yeah, don't know, just a little bit kind of caught me off guard. I didn't know this was happening. And then earlier this week, I was told, oh yeah, we're having all of this decorated now. I was like, what's wrong with the posters? Like, I don't understand. But apparently there is something wrong with the posters. Joaquin, shout out to you. John Morrison on Miz TV tonight. Yes, there's lots to talk about. Lots to go through. We need to talk about wrestling. I wanted to just let people know why I hadn't been uploading as much this week. Normally I would do a couple of videos on a Thursday. We literally did just the WWE Kids magazine and that was it. So yeah, I would normally do more, but there's things happening here at the moment where there's decorating and little bits and bobs getting done. So as I said, we will be moving. I think probably from next week. So maybe Monday's Raw might be the first one where we're down in the figure room. And honestly, I have got no idea what that stream is going to look like. I mean, I honestly don't know. So we're going to have to wait and see. So there is change slightly coming, but nothing to worry about. Let's put it that way. In regards to tonight, yes, we are going to get John Morrison tonight. That's why you might have seen that I've added him to the thumbnail. So yes, John Morrison is on the show. He's on Miz TV. And we should get a good idea of what the future is going to hold for John Morrison and what the future is going to hold for The Miz. I was wondering, does this mean that The Miz is now finished with Bray Wyatt? Is The Miz now moving on to something different? Because it would seem and feel like unfinished business. I don't feel like that feud has concluded. So if The Miz is now going to move forward with John Morrison, then, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I kind of feel like it's unfinished business. So I really do feel like they need to revisit that storyline at some point. Shout out to Alex. Hope you are well. Days update Daniel Bryan in the thumbnail. Yeah, I was going to. The image that I've used of Daniel is where he's still got the full beard. But to be honest, there weren't many pictures available of him without the beard, or certainly not like a couple of weeks ago. So that's why I didn't change the Daniel Bryan image. But obviously now it's been a couple of weeks. There should be better pictures. So yes, I will try and find a better picture. I might actually, if we're going to change like the background, we're going to start streaming in a different place, then I might kind of refresh the thumbnails. I might refresh this. So there is change coming. It can't be stopped. It can't be stopped. Hello to everyone that's joining us as well. Shout out to everyone that's here. It's great to see so many people around. I gotta be honest, I'm feeling really good. I am feeling really good today. I'm feeling quite refreshed. I'm feeling excited as well, mainly because of John Morrison. But obviously, we're just getting ever closer towards the Royal Rumble. So you just don't know what you're going to see. You just don't know what's going to happen, who's going to get added to the match. You know, we might find a few more names get added. I think there's about 7 or 8 names of people that have been added to the men's match. I don't think we've had much information on the women's match. Maybe we get that tonight. So, yeah. I mean, Royal Rumble is really starting to come together. We know we're going to have the men's and the women's. We know that we're getting Asuka versus Becky. We know that we are going to get Brock Lesnar in the men's Royal Rumble. And we also know that we're getting Daniel Bryan versus The Fiend. So there's quite a few bits that are coming together now. And I would imagine that Shinsuke will have a match, probably against Braun, would be my guess for the Intercontinental Championship. And obviously we don't know what's happening with Bayley. I'd imagine Bayley will defend the title, but we are getting Sasha versus Lacey Evans tonight. There's also big rumors, ever-growing rumors that Edge is coming back. Before I take everyone's questions and speak to people about whatever they want to speak to, because we're definitely going to be doing that, let me show you WrestleVotes. Now, WrestleVotes is, I would say, quite a reliable place to get information from. They've come out with a few things that have proven to be true and correct in recent months. So there was a lot of excitement when WrestleVotes earlier today tweeted out, "So, you think you know me?" Which is obviously the beginning to Edge's music, and you can see it's getting likes all the time. People saying, "Please, could we see Edge on SmackDown?" Very interesting that they sent that out earlier today. You think you know me? And as I said, that's from a decent source. WrestleVotes have been covering wrestling news for a long time and have been coming out with a lot of really reliable stuff. So I'm not saying that Edge is on the show tonight. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that the talk about Edge, the rumors around Edge, they're still circulating. They're still as loud as ever. And Royal Rumble looks very, very promising for Edge, I would say. So, yeah, exciting stuff. Jeff, shout out to you, buddy. Which is the best, NXT or WWE main roster or AEW? Well, it depends what you want to mark that on. If you want to talk about matches and match quality, then I would say that NXT and AEW were very close. If you want to talk about comedy, then I think AEW does that better than any of the promotions, thanks largely to Jericho. I think Jericho is very, very witty. And I think that, like, Orange Cassidy always makes me smile as well. And I just think that they do comedy much better than how Vince does comedy on the main roster. And in NXT, there just isn't any, to tell the truth. So I think AEW is probably the best for... they get stuff wrong as well, don't get me wrong. But I would say largely thanks to Jericho, you'd have to go with AEW. In regards to promos, that's difficult. I don't think WWE main roster is very good for promos. I feel like you'd have to give the nod to AEW, like Jericho's promos, MJF's promos, Cody's promos. So I feel like AEW is getting quite a lot of praise there for comedy. It's very good for wrestling, but I do think NXT might be just better. But it would be very close. So I think AEW is doing very well on all of those that we've just said. But I feel like then if you look at the women's division, I think NXT is a country mile ahead. I think their women's division is insane. I also think they've got a better men's division, to tell the truth, but only just. For me, if I had to sit down and watch one show it would be between NXT or AEW. And it would really depend who had the better storylines going on at that time. Right now, if we were going to choose one and I had to choose one, I don't know. It's really that close. I think I would be leaning towards NXT just because in recent weeks, I think they've been putting on the better shows, but not by much. Not by much. And it all depends. Like, for example, next week, I'd probably watch AEW because it's Bash at the Beach. So I'd be very interested in checking that out. And then I think the week after, it's on Jericho's cruise ship. So lots going on. Angel Osorio. I always get that wrong. Shout out to you, Angel. Hope you are well, my friend. Days, love the show. Shout out to you. Shout out to you also, buddy. This never feels like a show, to be brutally honest. This is just, literally, I would show you how unprepared I am by showing you the notepad and showing you there's nothing written on it. I am so unprepared. There's not even a notepad, right? There's nothing, nothing. So that's how unprepared we are. So we are literally just going to be talking about whatever you want to talk about. I'm going to be showing you anything that I've seen, any rumors or what the big talking points are. And really just kind of off the cuff. We're going to go off the cuff for the next 45 minutes or so. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because we will not get stuck with things to talk about, my friends, because there is so much going on, and we've got such a big weekend coming as well because we've got Smackdown tonight, and then on Sunday, we've got NXT UK Takeover 2, Blackpool Takeover 2. This is going to be so good. I am so looking forward to Tyler Bate versus Jordan Devlin. I really feel like that's got Match of the Year written on it. Because Jordan Devlin versus Pete Dunne was incredible match. I think it took place on NXT UK. It wasn't at like a takeover or anything, but it was brilliant. If you get a chance to watch that match, I think it was in Birmingham. I think I was there. Obviously they recorded several episodes. And I honestly can't remember if I was at that one or if it was one that I saw on TV. I think I was there live for that one. Pete Dunne versus Jordan Devlin. Absolutely incredible. This is going to be Tyler Bate, Jordan Devlin at TakeOver. Tyler Bate versus Walter was my match of 2019. This is why I'm so excited. So, really looking forward to that. And we are going to be watching Impact as well. We are going to be watching whatever their show is called. Hard to Kill? I haven't got a clue. But, whatever it is that's on Sunday. So, I've had a lot of people asking me to cover it. I don't know if we're going to do the weekly Impact shows, to be honest. I don't think we will. It depends how this weekend goes, but we did a poll on Twitter asking if people would like us to watch this show. And I think it came out about 65-35 saying yes. So we are going to be watching that. That is Sunday as well. Patrick O'Neill, shout out to you, bud. Days, shout out to me and Nolene. Shout out to Patrick O'Neill. Shout out to Nolene. Jennifer Lockhart, if Edge did return at the Rumble, would you be all right with him winning? Or do you think it would be too much for him to do it now? How would you book him? Great question. Would I have him win? Probably not. Because I really would like someone to win the Rumble that's an up-and-comer. I feel like the roster's got a lot of inexperience on it. If you look at the likes of Buddy Murphy, and you look at the likes of Aleister Black, and you look at the likes of Ricochet, and even Drew McIntyre, who hasn't really found his feet with this current character. So if you look at all of that, I really feel like there's a lot of people that would benefit from winning the Rumble. So I would like it to go to one of those. If Edge won, I'd be absolutely fine with it. But I would rather it went to someone new. Or to just go to the other end of the spectrum, completely the other end, CM Punk. just because of what it would mean, you know, just because of the headlines, just because of the impact. Let's put it this way, if Punk's in the match, surely Punk wins. I can't see Punk being in this match and Punk losing. I don't see that unless it's Punk that eliminates Brock. That might make sense. So, in fact, that might be perfect. Punk eliminates Brock, and then someone like Aleister Black goes on and wins the Rumble. That, I think, would be absolutely brilliant. In regards to Edge, he could still be in it. He doesn't have to win it. He could get eliminated by whoever his feud is going to be at WrestleMania. I don't want to see Edge going for a world title, to be honest. I wouldn't do that. I don't think he's got that in him. I think he's coming back after a long layoff, and I think we, in the short term, need to see how he responds, because he might only be able to come back for a match or two. Or, alternatively, it could go really well and he's back for ages, but you wouldn't want to put him in a championship match so soon. So that's how I would book it. I would have Punk eliminate Brock, and I would have someone like Aleister Black win the Rumble, or Kevin Owens, and Edge gets eliminated by whoever he will face at WrestleMania. Great question, dude. Daniel Brochu, I couldn't see it because it's just left my screen. Hang on, let me go back to it. There we go. Daniel, shout out to you. 2020 NXT champs are going to be, according to Daniel, Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Io Shirai. There's big rumors that there's 2 superstars that are going to get added to NXT, and this might change your thinking. I'm not sure. Kevin Owens could be going to NXT this year, and Asuka. They might be moving Asuka back to NXT. So, I think if Kevin Owens goes down, you've then got Finn Balor, you've got Kevin Owens. Are they going to get in the way of Keith Lee becoming champion? Are they going to get in the way of Ciampa being reunited with Goldie? I'm not sure. I think it's very hard to predict who is going to be champion this year, because, of course, you've got people like Kushida. How long can they keep Kushida away from that NXT championship? Personally, I would be putting it on him at WrestleMania. My WrestleMania NXT match would be Adam Cole versus Kushida, and Adam Cole loses. Kushida gets the title at WrestleMania. So I would be having Kushida in that list. If Kushida then drops it to, well, I don't know. You can't have Kushida lose it to Ciampa. Face versus face. Same with Keith Lee. You'd have to turn Keith heel or Ciampa heel, or I don't know. It's very hard. Very, very difficult to predict what they're going to do with NXT, because it is stacked. That roster is stacked. Sandman882 says, Days, how are you and Huskus doing? I can tell you I found Huskus. Huskus was down by Kia's bed, so I did not put Huskus there. So I am looking at a small furry creature that might have stolen Huskus, run off with it, and put it next to her bed. So I think she's taken a liking to Huskus. But we have managed to save him. He wasn't outside. And we are doing very, very well. So shout out to you, buddy. Ryan W. How are you, pal? Here is the obligatory brackets, because you keep informed while at work, and I appreciate it. Close brackets. Super chat party! Round 2 and laptop fund donation. Thank you. I can tell you, everyone that has kindly donated on Wednesday, which was insane, and tonight, it is all going to a new laptop. That new laptop, I think, will be purchased this weekend, because when we move downstairs, like I was talking about earlier, if you have missed the start of the stream, nothing drastic. I was just explaining why I hadn't uploaded a few more videos. Like, there was nothing earlier today. There was only one video yesterday. Normally, I would have uploaded quite a few by now. But we've been, like, doing a bit of decorating, and there's work happening here. And so, yeah, we are leaving this area. Like, we're still staying in this house, and we're still going to have the figure room and everything. but this is all getting decorated. Apparently, they don't want these posters anymore. So, which is understandable. I mean, they're not sexiest of faces. Well, Sasha's all right. But, I mean, honestly, you don't really want to be looking at Braun when you're getting up first thing in the morning, and I can understand that. So, yeah, we are leaving this area. We're going downstairs. It is going to be a green screen background, which is going to mean that we can play around. We can have some fun with that. So, a green screen background, which I've never used while streaming. I've never used because I don't think this laptop's powerful enough. I don't think this laptop would be able to stream and do the green screen thing. So, yeah, I think that's going to have to happen this weekend. So, shout out to Ryan W. Thank you very much for the support, my friend. That is going to go straight over to that fund. Mark Clark. Hi, Days. Otis. Hey, Mandy. Hi, Mandy. Yeah. Hi, Mandy. I love Otis, man. Otis and Mandy. That's honestly one of my favorite parts of a Friday night. We didn't even speak about them, did we? We should have mentioned them. I love those guys. I do think they're doing humor there very well, in all fairness. Although it's not really funny at the moment, is it? It's more heartbreaking right now. So, yeah, really, really looking forward to seeing what they do tonight. Hi, Mandy. Right, Daniel says, in that case, then you need to book Io Shirai versus Asuka and Ciampa versus Kevin Owens. Dude, these are just rumors that I read earlier today. If you type in WWE, go to Google, click on news, you'll be able to find an article talking about it. Because I can't remember who it was from. But, yeah, I read that earlier today. And, yes, I mean, Io Shirai versus Asuka would be... Well, and Ciampa versus Kevin Owens. You're absolutely right. It'd be insane. AJ Parker says, Days, I can't wait for the SmackDown Go Home show in 2 weeks' time. It's going to be in Dallas, and I will be there. I think it's going to be an off-the-chain show. Maybe a surprise or two. Maybe. I'm always worried about go-home shows because the thing with go-home shows is that all the feuds are already sorted by that point. So you're never going to get any matches made last minute. And any surprises that they have, you would think by that point they would probably want to save them for the Rumble. So I am always nervous with go-home shows, but there's one exception, and that is the Royal Rumble. And the reason why I say that is because like they always save like announcements as to who's going to be in the Rumble, or as you said, maybe a little surprise or something. There's always something on the Rumble go-home shows. WrestleMania go-home shows are all right as well because they just want that extra hype. They just want that extra momentum as they go in towards the biggest show. But go-home shows for B shows are normally awful, in all fairness. But I think you are going to a very good one there, AJ Parker. So I do agree, my friend. I do agree. So shout out to you. I can see a lot of people firing in messages. Shout out to Mayko. 5437, who keeps repeating, hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days. Shout out to you, pal. And we've got Jesse as well, Jesse Callan, saying, hi Days, I've missed you, but good to see you. Missed you too, Jesse. Again, don't know if you heard, but there's a lot of decorating and things going on here, which is why I've not been able to upload videos. And it also means we're going downstairs, and so Monday's stream, it won't be till Monday, but Monday's stream might look a bit different. Right now, I have no idea what Monday's stream is going to look like. I just know there will be one. 100% there will be one. Worst case scenario, I will have to stream it with a green screen and nothing on it. If I can't get a new laptop and this thing is not powerful enough, then I'll just have a green screen behind me. And I'm not saying not get a new laptop because I wouldn't be able to afford one. I mean, it's hard to know what one to go for. I know that we're straying off wrestling here, but give me a moment because this really has taken up quite a bit of my time. Trying to find the right laptop is so hard because I want to make sure that I'm buying something that's going to last. I want to make sure I'm buying something that's got really good processing power because I need to stream and the green screen thing. So I'm trying to make sure that I've got that covered. So you kind of go in and like you can go up to like £2,000 and I'm like, no way. Like I'm around £1,000 max. Like even then I'm crying as I'm handing the money over to the cashier. Like I don't want to be doing that. So I'm ideally looking around 700 or whatever. And then you go on to like all of these sites. One site's telling you this laptop's amazing. Another site's telling you it's awful. Like you read the reviews and there's just people crying. And you're like, oh, I don't know. I've spent hours, honestly, hours at night, just kind of like looking through laptops that if you want just a real little insight into my life right now, then everything's being decorated around me. I'm being moved to a different place and I'm trying to find a laptop and the world just is not helping me. So that is my life at the moment. That explains why there's not been many videos. Jody Gilly is at Smackdown near the front row. She also met Bray today before going into the arena. I bet she exploded. I bet Jody actually exploded. Like, that is her life's dream. If you've been joining us on these streams, you'll know that Jody Gilly, big part of our community, an admin for the Firefly Fun House fan group on Facebook, which I think now is like 12,000 subscribers or something crazy like that. Yeah, I mean, obviously her dream is to meet Bray. She's got like Bray tattoos and all this kind of stuff. And man, yeah, I'll have to have a look online and see if she posted a video or her reaction to that or whatever, because that'd be pretty epic. Are you going to make a surprise entrance? No, I'm far too lazy for that. You need to update the description roster. I absolutely do. Maybe I'll do that on Monday. That still hasn't been updated since the draft. How crazy is that? When the draft happened, I was like, right, I need to jot all these names down, get the description sorted. I just thought, nah, sod it, I can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. It'll be all right. No, I doubt anyone reads it anyway. But it turns out people do, so there we go. What do you think it will take for Elias to get to that next level? I think Elias needs to, in order to get to the next level, he needs to be in a really good feud. And when I say a good feud, I think it needs to be quite personal. It needs to really connect with the crowd. It's no good doing Elias versus Shorty G and no one cares, and it doesn't get much TV time. It needs to be a little, in a way, it needs to be a little bit like the Lashley Rusev story, in the fact that it is the main story on Raw, and people are talking about it. Now, yes, people are talking about it because it's not brilliant and it could be better, but people are certainly talking about it. People are talking about Lashley and Rusev and Liv and Lana, and you know, it's the main storyline on Raw. Elias kind of needs something along those lines, but it ideally better, booked better creative. And then that will help him. Then he'll move forward. But at the moment, he just comes out, plays guitar, and someone probably interferes. That's it. That's been his gimmick for like 2 years, maybe even longer than that. So I don't think he can complain too much, because they still use him and he's been in some great moments. I mean, do you remember when we had Undertaker versus John Cena at WrestleMania? You might remember that Cena was in the ring and the lights went out and it was Elias that came walking out. Everyone thought it was going to be The Undertaker, but it was Elias, and then they ended up having a really quick little brawl, and then Cena was like, forget this, started walking up the ramp, lights go out, Undertaker appears. So, you know, they've used Elias in a few moments like that. SummerSlam, he was speared by Edge. This is where all the Edge talk came from. And again, that was Elias. So he's been used in some really fun little moments. But he needs feuds. He needs matches. He needs wins. You know, that would get him to the next level. Dave's thoughts on if John Morrison should have a title run. I don't know. Depends how people take to him, to be honest. I think bring him back, have some fun, get some good vibes going, and then let's have a look and see what we do with him from there. If the crowd are really into him, if the crowd are like, buying up, snapping up his merch, and they're really loving the fact he's back and what he's doing in the ring is really catching on, and the YouTube videos are getting views, and he's trending and all of this kind of stuff. And of course, he can influence some of that, but creative will influence a lot of it. But if they want to do that and they give him that support and he trends and sells merch and all of this, then yeah, why not? Why not give him a little title run and see kind of where it goes from there? It's kind of similar to what they did with Kofi, wasn't it? Kofi added to that match. Kofi, a legend, had been around a long time and caught fire. Kofi Mania, crowd behind him, merch being sold, Twitter going into meltdown, fantastic performances. You could just see the momentum. You could see the momentum, the ball rolling, very similar to what we got with Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. Only happens once in a while. Do I think that's going to happen with John Morrison? Probably not, to be honest. Probably not. But I'm sure they'll find him something fun to do. It seems like he'll be with The Miz in the short term, so let's wait and see. I really do like John Morrison, though. I really do like him, so I am wishing him all the best. I really want to see him succeed. Days, is Eric Rowan undefeated? No, he was beaten at WrestleMania by The Rock, just off the top of my head. One of the shortest matches in WrestleMania history. The bell rang, and it was Rowan versus The Rock. I want to say WrestleMania 32, and The Rock won. So I think since he's come to Raw, he might be undefeated. I can't think of anyone beating Rowan on Raw. Since he went solo and everything. But not out of his career, of course, no. M&M reunion, it seems that way. Days, what's your favourite NXT moment of all time? I've been asked this a few times, and there's a few moments that spring to mind. One of my earliest favourite memories was Blue Pants. I love that moment, man. Blue Pants at Brooklyn. It's hard to explain unless you was watching NXT at the time, but I will try my best in a couple of minutes now just to explain that moment, right? Blue Pants, who you might know as the librarian, Leva Bates in AEW. She used to be in NXT, and she didn't have a name as such. I don't even know what her name was, and I think it was Enzo Amore, who called her Blue Pants one day. It was like, hey, Blue Pants, right? And it stuck. Like, the crowd really took to her, really liked the name, Blue Pants. And so she started coming out, and her new name was Blue Pants. That was her name. And people loved her. I cannot stress that enough. She was so over. She was so popular. I even bought a Blue Pants t-shirt. So I've got a Blue Pants NXT t-shirt from about 2014, 2015. And cut a long story short, it was Blake and Murphy versus the Vaudevillains for the tag titles. In Blake and Murphy's corner was Alexa Bliss. And Vaudevillains didn't have anyone, and Alexa would always cheat, always get involved, always interfere. So they needed someone. The Vaudevillains needed someone in their corner. And they point to the entrance stage at Brooklyn, and out came Blue Pants. And honestly, the place was unglued. The place went crazy when Leva Bates came out. It was so cool. It was a really great moment. So I can't say that's my favorite moment, because there's been some incredible matches, incredible takeover moments, just some absolutely fantastic stuff. But that's one of my earliest favorite moments when I really first started watching NXT, and it's just always stuck with me. I love it. I absolutely love that. I haven't watched it in a long time. And do you know what? I think the match straight after that match was Tyler Breeze versus Jushin Thunder Liger. Jushin Thunder Liger, who last weekend, of course, at Wrestle Kingdom, finally retired, finally walked away from the world of wrestling after a 30-year career. So, yeah, crazy. Great memories. Anthony Carter says it's been confirmed that Marty has re-signed with Ring of Honor. Ooh. Well, I'd imagine there's something in his contract that says that he can still work NWA, because I am expecting to see him in NWA, because of course he did appear at that show, and yeah, really exciting, man. Really, really exciting to see what they do with him. So kind of hoping that he's still going to be around for that. Very surprised he's not gone to AEW though, Marty Scurll. Rowan got beat by Big Show in the stairs match. Yes, you're very right, Harrison. Days, I've got Hellboy winning the Rumble. Bray also knows about the fan group. Amazing. Liger should be put into the WWE Hall of Fame. I agree. Jim Gore, I agree. Shout out to Par'ul Girl. That's an interesting name. Par'ul. Sophia, hello, my friend. How are you? Hope you are well. Thank you for joining us, as always. So Sophia says, hey, Days. Sorry that I've missed the last few streams. Are you excited to see John Morrison on Miz TV? And do you think they will start teaming up like they did back in the day? Yeah. I think you will see a tag team match. I mean, they're together now for a reason. John Morrison being on Miz TV. In fact, I could definitely see a tag team interrupting tonight. I could see Morrison and The Miz talking, catching up, reminiscing. Someone comes out, tag team match is made. Boom, it happens tonight. Straight after Miz TV, we get the reunion. So I could see that happening. I don't know if that's going to be their long-term plan or not. I honestly don't know. But I'm really interested to see kind of the reaction that John Morrison gets. I really hope he gets a positive reaction. I think they've really botched his return. I think his return would have been so much better if it had been out of the blue. They just don't tend to do those surprises anymore. And the only reason I can think is because maybe they think it's already been spoiled. Maybe they think because Twitter knows that he's signed, because it's already been announced, that when he finally does come out, say at the Rumble or something, it's going to be underwhelming. I don't think that's true. Just because we know he's signed doesn't mean we know when he's coming. Doesn't mean we know what he looks like. Doesn't mean we know what his current gimmick is going to be, or, you know, is he a face? Is he a heel? What's his intentions? There's so many questions that I just feel like they definitely could have done this better. And there was a lot of criticism last week when, was it Kathy Kelly or Charlie Caruso knocked on that door? Door opened, and it was the door to the Miz's locker room, and John Morrison was there, and people were like, that's how they're bringing him back. It was flat. It was flat. So, to answer your question, very excited. Love John Morrison. I was singing his praises earlier, and I would have brought him back a different way, but I totally think you see a tag team, maybe even tonight. So I think someone just asked, Days, could you see John Cena returning at the Rumble? Maybe. I mean, John Cena's a Hollywood film star, so it all depends whether they can get a schedule, you know, if they can make the diary work. I think, like, Cena would definitely do it. He'd be happy to take that bump. It's not much of a bump, is it? Just going over the top rope. So I think he'd be more than happy to do that. But yeah, we'll have to see if he gets involved. I'm not expecting him, to be honest. Although I do think he'll have a match at WrestleMania. I think he'll have a match, so, you know, they could use the Rumble to set that up. So never give up. Never say never. I think they showed Morrison before he actually comes out, so younger fans can know who he is first. The Fiend's favorite friend, Barnhouse, says, I am going to the Rumble. Have a great time, buddy. I want to see Bray lose the title as Funhouse Bray and The Fiend have to get it back. That's interesting, Michael. I like that. Ben Russell says, Days, I'm so glad it's Friday and it's Smackdown and you're streaming. I've had a really rough day. I've also sat my first GCSE exam today. In January. I thought they were always done at, like, end of the year, like, end of the school year in May, June. You've done one in January. Dude, I think they've lied to you. I've sat my first GCSE exam, and I'm so glad to be watching your stream and Smackdown tonight. Shout out to you, Ben. It's really great to have you, bud. I mean, I can't believe you've been lied to about doing a GCSE exam in January, but there we go. Maybe your day just got better. Maybe it's not as serious as what you thought if the exam didn't go well. Yeah. Let me know, Ben. I'm really interested. What was the subject? What have you had the exam in today? Let me know. I want to know. I think I speak for the community when I say we all want to know. We definitely want to know. And does your teacher have a habit and a history of lying? Let me know. Imagine Io Shirai being a shocking winner of the Women's Royal Rumble after the rumors of her being called up. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be really clever, actually. You know, they should use social media more that way, kind of mislead it, you know, put out deliberate fake news. They probably do already, actually, but yeah, that'd be clever. There's lots of rumors that she's unhappy at the moment, so maybe she isn't unhappy, maybe she's absolutely loving it, but she's going to win the Rumble. And I wouldn't mind if someone from NXT won the Rumble, because I think that helps NXT. So if Io did win, then she gets a big moment. She gets shown off and the spotlight put on her in front of the whole WWE universe, even those that don't watch NXT. That's only going to help NXT. So it's going to boost ratings. And also, we know there's going to be NXT matches at WrestleMania. They've said that they're going to involve NXT more during the big pay-per-views. So Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and obviously, as we just saw, Survivor Series at the end of 2019. So I think it makes a lot of sense to have an NXT superstar win one of the Rumbles. I don't think they will. That's not what my predictions are. But I think it would make a lot of sense. So I don't think Io Shirai is a bad shout, to be honest. I do think Shayna Baszler could win. I don't think she's staying in NXT very long. There's big rumors that she's already gone. I think Dave Meltzer was saying it was very interesting that there was no sign of her. There was no sign of Marina Shafir. There was no sign of Jessamine Duke. And do you know what? Every chance that they show up tonight. If you get Shayna Baszler invasion tonight with Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir, it wouldn't surprise me, because I really think they're either Raw or SmackDown bound. I really do. Right, Jake P. Is it Jake? It's Jack. Jack P says, would you have a shoot fight with Brock for £99,999? So basically $100,000. Would I have a shoot fight with Brock Lesnar for $100,000? Would I have a shoot? You've got to think about what the injuries would be. My gut reaction is no. But realistically, would I turn down £100,000 just to have a fight with Brock? A fight which really isn't going to last that long, you know? And if I knew about it, I could at least try and do some training. I'm not thinking wrestling training. I'm just thinking, how quick could I get out the ring and run away? How quick could I get out the ring, run away, and get counted out? Unless you're saying it's like a UFC fight where there's no escape. Because if it's UFC, I am not having that. No way. If it's going to be WWE, honestly, probably still not. $100,000. I'd want a life-changing amount. I don't know if $100,000 is. can't even buy a house. Like, houses in the UK are like 170, 200,000. You're not going to find a house in the UK, so you can't buy a house. So, no, no, I'm going to say no. There you go. I've turned it down. Have a word with him. See if he'll increase the offer. Get back to me. Yeah, let me know what he says. Days, how you doing, buddy? Hear me out. Fiend versus Fun House Bray in a well-produced, pre-filmed, empty arena match. One can dream. Yeah. You can dream. It doesn't have to be an empty arena match. They could do that, but they could also do it at SummerSlam or something like that. I think it would be a similar story to Undertaker versus Undertaker. So I think you'd have Funhouse Bray, and I think Funhouse Bray would be there, and then Fiend would appear on the Titantron, and Funhouse Bray would be like confused, and then bring the Fiend out onto the entrance ramp, and then just have Funhouse Bray saying that's not the Fiend. I can tell that's not the Fiend. That can't be. It can't be. And just have him like really confused. And then it turns out it's actually someone else dressed as the Fiend. But you wouldn't know that until after. So yeah, you could. That's one way that you could do Funhouse Bray versus Fiend. Are you going to NXT Blackpool? Sadly not. No, we're streaming it. We will be doing a live watch along this Sunday. So, Days, I paid $60 for the Jushin Thunder Liger figure, and it arrived. It was definitely worth it. Oh yes, that is out today. It's out on the 11th. Amazing. Thank you for letting me know. I haven't pre-ordered it. So I think I will be picking it up because it looks incredible, and looks like you're saying the same. So thank you very much, Big Boy Dally. Shout out to LSW. Bray versus The Fiend can be done on WWE 2K20, says Jim Gore. But I will counter that by saying nothing can be done on 2K20. Unless you want glitch versus glitch. Sam Ginsberg, hope you are well. Days, how would you book John Morrison? Well, my gut feeling about how to book John Morrison is I would do a one-off tag match either this week or next week with The Miz. If you want to build up some excitement for next week's show, then maybe do it next week instead. But plant the seeds this week. And then, they can be hanging out together. John Morrison can say that he's going to enter the Rumble. He can go into the Rumble. He's not going to win it, but I think he could do well. I think he could last a good half an hour plus in the Rumble, really establish himself, get him over to some of the people that don't know about him. And then I would be looking for him to either start a feud, but like a really tasty feud. I'm trying to think if there's anyone he's got beef with from his original run, and I can't think of anyone. I was thinking maybe Randy Orton or someone along those lines. Orton's already got a feud with AJ at the moment, and he's on a different brand, so that is definitely not going to work. But I was thinking someone along the lines of Orton. But if failing that, then you could maybe look at putting him in the Intercontinental picture. So maybe Shinsuke versus Braun at the Rumble. Shinsuke retains. And then you could maybe do Shinsuke versus John Morrison at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship. That'll get you through to WrestleMania. And then I think you've got the Superstar Shakeup. And, well, everything can change then. I would be moving him to NXT, actually. For the Superstar Shakeup, I'd take him to NXT. I think what you've got is you've had Morrison and Miz back together for a nice one-off reunion. Then you've had him in the Rumble, really good showing. Then you've had him going after a title, IC title, which I don't think he should win. I'd keep it on Shinsuke. And then I'd switch him to NXT. That's how I would do him. Shout out to Matthew Lopez. Thank you for the support, my friend. Really appreciate it. Alonte says, Days, what you think is in Eric Rowan's cage? Well, I mean, look, the evidence is constantly stacking up, isn't it? That it is some kind of a creature. There was a lot of talk that it was his sheep's mask. or one of the puppets or something like this. But the commentators did say that they saw the cage move, and that always swayed me. That always made me think that it was a creature. So I was under the impression it was like a lizard or something. We now know that whatever is in there, I don't know if it was blood or it was some kind of spray, but there was something on that jobber on Monday, wasn't there? He had a little peek and something went into his face or, slashed out at his face. I think there's a lot of talk that it could be some kind of a skunk or something along those lines. Or maybe that guy had some kind of an allergic reaction, or it's hard to tell. It is hard to tell. I can't think what would have caused whatever happened to that jobber, to tell the truth, so quickly as well. Unless like it was a skunk and it sprayed in his face or something along those lines, then I can see them doing that. But I definitely think it's some kind of creature. Did I miss something else? I thought Matthew Lopez, no, shout out to you, buddy. We could get the Dirt Sheet versus the New Day. Shout out to C Wrestling, who I just saw in the chat as well. Brock Lesnar's here. Brock says, I just spoke to Paul. I just spoke to Paul. 2.5 million UFC rules. 5 fives. So what are you saying? 5 rounds of 5 minutes. UFC rules. 2.5 million. 2.5 million. I'd do that. 2.5 million. I'd do that. I'd go into the octagon with Brock for 2.5 million. That is completely life changing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Being in an octagon with Brock Lesnar's completely life changing as well, and not for the better. But look, are you going to get beaten up? Are you going to get broken bones? Probably. But as long as I survive it, do you know what I mean? And there's going to be a ref in there. So hopefully Brock just puts me in a submission hold and I can tap real quick. That would be my hope. My hope is that he punches me and I just get knocked out, or he gets me down and puts me in a submission and I'll just tap. Or the bell might ring and I might just go straight to the floor and I might just look, ref, are you seeing? Look at this. I'm tapping, ref. I might just do that before he even touches me. So if I have to run away for 5 rounds and 5 minutes, that's what, 25 minutes of running, I'll do it. Trust me, I'll do it. So, I 2.5 million. Book it, Vince. Days, will Edge enter at 30 and eliminate Brock? I don't think so. I'm not hearing any rumors of Brock versus Edge. I'm hearing Brock versus Cain Velasquez. That's the loudest rumor. But I'm not hearing Brock versus Edge. I think Edge is, coming back from injury, and it's really not the right time to be putting Edge in there with someone like Brock Lesnar. So I can't see that happening. I think it's a baby alligator in Rowan's cage. How would a baby alligator inside of a cage cause whatever that was to be on the jobber's face? I don't understand. Because it can't get to you because it's in a cage. So how would it have done that? I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't know. It was ICT GCSE. I don't even know what ICT is. In my head, it's probably information computing technology. In Northern Ireland, and we have GCSEs from January until June. But now I'm almost certain I don't have one until February, so I'm all good for a few weeks. Well, Ben Russell, shout out to you. I had no idea that Northern Ireland was that cruel when it came to GCSEs. Here in England, we just get them all in April, May, June time. We just do all of them in a block. So I don't know. Is it better to spread them out and then that way you can focus on them as you're getting? Might be better in a way. Don't know. Never thought about it. But I hope it went well, bud, and good luck for all of them that are to come. Days, your thoughts? Could we see The Fiend or a Funhouse episode? Yeah, Big Boy Dally, I think so, because we haven't seen anything for a few weeks. So, we saw a Fiend attack, didn't we? But it wasn't the longest. It wasn't, we haven't seen any Funhouse stuff. So, I'm hoping for Funhouse episode. That's what I'd like. Brock Lesnar says, I'll see you soon. You've been on my list for a long time. Well, that sounds horrific. Jacob says, toy hunt, ? Yes, I do need to do one. As I said, there's a lot going on this weekend. So, it's on the agenda. It was on the agenda at Christmas, and I just never got time to do it. It's still on the agenda now. But yeah, I really want to go. I really want to go because I haven't been for a long time. So I know there's going to be new stuff, and I know there's going to be a lot to have fun with, and all the new 2020 lines. And man, when we do a toy hunt, the next toy hunt, I really think it's going to be a lot of fun. I haven't been in so long. So yes, I will try and get one done. I can't give you a time, unfortunately. Days. In the cage, it's the cage bit CM Funk, you're right. Oh my god, do a toy hunt already. Spoiler, it's Luke Harper's head inside Rowan's cage. Days, what channel is SmackDown on? It's going to be on BT. Oh my god, 2 minutes. We've got 2 minutes. Where did that time go? I swear, I thought there was 20 minutes. I thought there was about 20 minutes to go. I thought I was going to look down and but no, a minute. We've got a minute. I'm so not ready. Jerry Lopez, shout out to you, buddy. You're joining us at a good time. We are just, a minute away now. A minute away from SmackDown beginning. I had no idea. It's properly caught me off guard. So, shout out to everyone that's joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. I told you that we would not struggle to fill that hour, even though there was literally nothing planned, nothing written down. But we went through a few rumors. We spoke about how we would book different things. And we are now getting ready to go over to WWE Smackdown. I wonder how the show opens. Do you think the show will open with Miz TV? We've got Sasha against Lacey Evans tonight as well. Matt Spano says, Days, your picks for the men's and females Royal Rumble 2020. Go. Well, I would love the men's winner to be CM Punk, but I don't know how likely that is. So I think it could be Kevin Owens or it could be Drew McIntyre. And there's big rumors it could be Roman Reigns. I feel like those three. I don't want to say a favourite. I think Roman might be favourite. So, but I'd love it to be CM Punk. In regards to the women, I think Ronda has got to be up there. If it's not Ronda, then probably Shayna Baszler. So those are my predictions. I'd love for it to be Punk. I don't think it will be. Just because we've been saying that every year for 6 years now. 6 years. And there comes a point where you go, do you know what? It's not going to happen, is it? And look, do you see his outburst against The Miz as well? He was swearing at The Miz on Twitter. Kind of looked at that and thought, no way. There's no way that he's going back to WWE. Unless he was getting it out of his system. Okay, here we go. Are you ready for a good time? Smackdown, we are live! Look at that old fella. Aww. Gone along on a Friday night to the wrestling. He's gone along to the grappling. The Ford Center. I don't know where this is, actually. Ford Center. That would kind of suggest Detroit. Motor City. I think it is Miz TV. Yes! Miz TV with John Morrison starts the show. Oh, man. When he comes out with that slow-mo, do you think he's got, like, the really nice jacket and everything again? Oh, this is exciting. Miz TV. Shout out to Callum Jess. Look at the excitement. 18 total championship wins for the A-lister. He has had a great career. He's coming down in wrestling attire. Wrestling attire for the Miz. Noted. So the same Miz has unraveled over recent weeks, and that is true. So Miz coming down for Miz TV, but he is in wrestling attire. This is what I was saying. I could see him interviewing John Morrison and a tag team coming out. Will Morrison have a new theme? We're going to find out. We are going to find out. Shout out to Tori Eldridge. Thank you very much, my friend. If you are watching and you haven't subscribed, I mean, I probably should have mentioned this earlier. But if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe. Make sure you join us. We are back on Sunday for NXT UK, TakeOver, and Impact. And then we're back on Monday for Raw, NWA on Tuesday. I mean, we literally stream all the time. Okay, here we go. We're going to hear from The Miz. Boos for The Miz. I thought The Miz was getting quite a good reaction, actually, when he first came out. He's taking his glasses off. He's having a little look around. Little smile on his face. Welcome to Miz TV. I've got my own YouTube channel. Eminem versus New Day. You can smell it brewing. I'm excited for NXT UK TakeOver Blackport. It's going to be amazing pro wrestling. I was talking earlier about Tyler Bate versus Jordan Devlin. He says, I had a bad day. There we go. So Miz is trying to explain, look, I had a bad day. We've all had bad days. I think this is it another slow heel turn? Do you think Miz turns on John Morrison? Miz turns on John Morrison? Maybe not this week. Okay, there we go. Miz says, from the bottom of my heart to Kofi, I am sorry. He says, I've been going through a lot. He didn't threaten his daughter. Gave his daughter a doll. Really cool looking doll. And he let her play with the puppets. If anything, Fiend was lovely to Monroe Sky. There we go. He says there's been a bright spot. The return of someone that is like family. Here we go. Get out of your seats. The Prince of Parkour. Here we go. Big intro by The Miz. And it's the same theme. Now listen. And he comes out, but he hasn't got the nice jacket on. I was hoping he'd have a nicer jacket than that. And it's got the fireworks in the background. Smile on his face. Winner of Tough Enough in 2003. A 3-time WWE Intercontinental Champion. It is very, very cool to see John Morrison on SmackDown. The thing with John Morrison, if that turned out to be Dolph Ziggler in a wig, I honestly wouldn't know. Oh, but honestly, if he took the wig off and that turned out to be Dolph Ziggler, I'd be like, no way. But they've got the exact same face. How did that happen? How did two people get the exact same face? And then they both became wrestlers? Dolph Morrison. John Ziggler. John Ziggler? I think he was in a film with Lars Sullivan. Not the loudest reaction for John Morrison, although it is starting to build. Welcome back, chant. They weren't sure what to chant at first. Awesome! I'm disappointed that John Morrison isn't in wrestling attire. I get the feeling like we're going to get a Miz match, but not a John Morrison match. I'm also disappointed he hasn't got that lovely robe. I suppose they're saving stuff, maybe, you know, for when he has his first match. This is like casual attire John Morrison, isn't it? There it is. Look at these jackets. Thing of beauty. The guru of greatness. So they're showing us... Yeah, that was great in the Rumble. Look at that. Bosh. He's great. He's really, really great. I was always a John Morrison fan. The crowd is terrible. I don't know. It's a bit early to say, to be honest. I don't know if the crowd's terrible. They just seem very quiet. Morrison deserved a better reaction. They've got no clue on how to do returns anymore. You're not wrong, Mr. Gunner. We were saying that there was definitely better ways to bring him back. I do understand the argument. I can't remember who it was in the chat. Someone mentioned maybe they're doing it this way so that people can get used to him first. And there's no problem with bringing him back and then getting used to him after. Enough fans will know who he is. He's not like that Japanese deathmatch guy that AEW brought out that literally no one knows. Johnny Strickland. Oh no, the message has gone. Johnny, what happened, Johnny? Johnny. Can I see the message on the other one? No, Johnny. Shout out to you, Johnny. You shouldn't be ashamed of whatever you wanted to say. John Morrison says, there's nothing more important than being there for one of your best friends. Hello, what's happening? He's laughing. Is he going to turn on Miz? John Morrison says, disappointed? Oh no! Morrison's turning on the crowd? Morrison is attacking the crowd. He says, Miz had one bad day and you all turned on him. Oh, I don't want to be shouted at by John Morrison. That's not why I tuned in. Fine. They're booing. I don't like the Morrison name. I prefer Impact. Already changed WWE. I made it 11 minutes. Some people arriving late in the background. Loving that. Lady showing them to her seats. Yeah, you're just down here. Let me have a look at your ticket. Okay, if you want to come with me, just down here to these two, right there. Yeah, if you'd just like to move down. Thank you, thank you. Oh, Morrison now starting to attack. Here come the New Day. So Morrison was just pointing at someone, calling him a douchebag. And New Day are on the way. So I'm saying this is definitely going to lead to a tag match, but probably next week. John Morrison versus The Miz versus Bray Wyatt. Shout out to Shia the Sheriff. He said, I'm going to throw the pancakes, but it's hard to do whilst I've got a microphone. Kofi, don't worry about the pancakes. I tell you what, this is very difficult, isn't it? To bring John Morrison back after so long, but bring him back as a heel? I'm not sure that's a why. I don't get it. Big E said to The Miz, you couldn't even be cast as the back end of the human centipede. And honestly, that's the worst end. Think about it. Don't think about it. Kofi says, look, if you'd just said I had a bad day and left it at that, it would have been fine. But all the pouting and the... I don't know. Miz says he respects the fact that Kofi was champ for 6 months. I also respect the 6 seconds it took you to lose it. Faces rule. John Morrison is a human Lego. All I know is that we better get return of the dirt sheet on YouTube, or even better, on TV. I agree with that. Kofi says it was 8 seconds, actually. Kofi says you're changing. They are changing. From Cool Miz? Days. Is Morrison good face or heel? I prefer him as a face. Kofi pointing at Miz, saying that he sucks. Well, there we go. Kofi versus The Miz. I'm guessing that's next. Has that just been booked, or how does that happen? How's that? How? I don't understand. Right, we're at our first commercial break. Let's rip into that now, shall we? Some nice lines, a few little lines in there that I enjoyed. But outside of it, the booking is very, very strange. I'm not gonna destroy it too much, in all fairness, because I'm hoping there's a long-term plan. If you think about it this way, Miz has been in a feud with Funhouse Bray, and it seems to be that people that have been in feuds with Bray get changed, they turn. So if that is true, and that's a story that they want to tell, then you've got to turn The Miz. The Miz has got to go from being a face to being a heel. Now, John Morrison has come back. Everyone wants to see Morrison and Miz team. So it means that Morrison has got to be a heel. You're caught in a way. You've got to turn The Miz, but everyone wants The Miz and Morrison back together again. So that you're trapped. You've got to turn Morrison heel. To be honest, I think I would wait for the Miz to turn face again, but we don't know when that's going to be. That might not be for years. The Miz could be heel now for years. So if you want to see Morrison and Miz together, then yeah, it looks like their hands are tied. That's the only reason. That is the only reason I can think why they would bring back John Morrison and bring him back as a heel. Because honestly, I mean, he's wrestled in Lucha Underground, he's wrestled in Impact Wrestling, he's wrestled down in AAA, he's been all over the Indies. Do you know what I mean? Like, wrestling fans know of this guy, wrestling fans love this guy. There's been a lot of excitement about him coming back. 5 seconds into him being on Miz TV, he's calling someone in the crowd a douchebag. Right? It's like, I don't get it. I don't understand. If you want to turn him heel eventually, then all right, but that's not how I would be booking him. And I'm pretty sure that's not how you lot would book him either. I think he should have been a face. I think the reason they've done it is because they want to put him with The Miz, and The Miz has to turn heel. So they're kind of a little bit trapped. But let's see. Let's see what comes of it, because it might be okay. They might find a way of making this work. I think Miz and Morrison versus New Day, if that's going to be the match at the Royal Rumble, could you imagine Royal Rumble, New Day versus Miz and Morrison, M&N? I think that would be amazing. I think that would be absolutely brilliant. So I feel like we are heading that way. So let's wait and see. Not how I would have used him, but we might get a great match out of it. Jeff Delaney says, Mr. J here. I had to change my name. YouTube says I'm stuck with it for a few months. Here's my hat change of the month, Days. Thank you very much, Mr. J. Jeff Delaney. Whatever you want me to call you, my friend. Really appreciate it, man. Really, really appreciate it. Right. We've got John Morrison and Big E on commentary. Boom. Days, WWE is a week behind. They should have done this last week. They could have done this last week. I think, though, they wanted to start the heel turn for The Miz. I think they wanted, because Miz obviously beat down Kofi out of frustration. So, yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. It's not how I would bring him back. They should bring back Chris Masters. Ooh. Days, I swear that you have a similar heel Rollins laugh. Nice standing drop kick by Kofi. So we're underway with this first match. We're already 20 minutes into this show. I think was it Brent Lanning that said 11 minutes in, and I've already changed the channel. So, yeah, it seems like people weren't overly impressed with that first segment. But I could see this match going 10 minutes. We could also get... Well, we could get The Fiend getting involved, but I don't think we will. I've got a feeling that Miz is moving away from Bray now. I think Miz is actually going into this tag match. I think that's what we're building towards. I can see it being Kofi and Big E against Miz and Morrison. Kick out. Should Cena and Orton battle? They've battled so many times. I wouldn't go that way, to be honest. Days, do you think it matters if WWE superstars wear the other brand colour in their ring gear? No, I don't think it matters at all. I don't have an issue with that. Like, Miz right now is wearing red, but I'm not looking at Miz and thinking Raw. No. I mean, the because everyone would be in blue. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you shouldn't wear red because it's Raw, or you shouldn't wear blue on Raw because it's SmackDown. I don't make that connection. For me, it's about the ring ropes, and it's about the LED screens, and even the lighting. The crowd are all lit up in blue. But whatever the wrestlers want to wear, let them wear it. Back elbow by Kofi. I would have waited for his return at the Royal Rumble. I think that Jesse agrees as well. Yeah, I definitely agree also, bud. A pancake battle on commentary table. Right, Kofi clotheslines Miz to the outside. Kofi suicide dive to the Miz. Miz goes down. Days Rhea should battle Ronda and Shayna. I don't think they'll do that, to be honest. Kofi just went flying into Big E. Big E has got up, but so has John Morrison as we go to another commercial break. We literally only just came back from one commercial break. That segment then must have been like, what, 3-4 minutes long? That was madness. Yeah, in regards to Rhea versus Shayna versus Ronda, or Rhea versus Shayna and Ronda, I can't see that happening because I don't think Shayna is staying in NXT. Could be wrong, but I really think that she is going to either Raw or SmackDown. Like now. Like, could turn up tonight kind of a thing. IB Gang says, boo commercials. A commercial right before the match, and then another 4 minutes in. I know. That was the shortest segment I think I've ever seen. Unless they're trying to get adverts out the way so that they can have, like, something epic for the main event. I don't know. Cena sucks. He cannot defeat The Undertaker. Staying as why Cena can't. I hope this month it better be good. Where's The Fiend? I think The Fiend will get involved with Daniel. As I said, I think The Fiend's done with Miz. I just don't think there's anything there anymore. I think it's a feud that they can always go back to, but I think The Miz now is turning heel and focusing on the New Day going forward. Reigns and Orton versus Morrison and Miz. Paula, that could be good. Why are you talking about The Fiend? Because Miz was in a feud with The Fiend, was in a feud with Funhouse Bray. Clearly mentioned him, and yeah, there's obviously a bit of expectation that he could turn up here. Days, have you seen the exclusive of what WWE is planning to do for the matches at WrestleMania? No. What do you mean? What they're planning to do for WrestleMania matches? I've heard rumors. Fox is a major network and will have more commercials. Days, is WWE scripted? Yeah. Days, can I get a shout out? Shout out to Hello Materi. Hello Materi. I want Bo in the Funhouse. Yeah. I would like Bo in the Funhouse. There was he tweeted a message out, didn't he? That kind of suggested that he was starting to turn to a darker side. But nothing came of it. So I think that was him tweeting something out to kind of get people talking. And sadly, I don't think WWE Creative had any interest or any intention of actually doing anything. Just got a little advert now for the Royal Rumble. And then we'll be going back to Kofi versus The Miz. I got to be honest, it's been quite flat. Considering John Morrison opened the show, it's been flat. Confused that they turned Morrison heel. This match has been, wow, it's been commercials. That's what it's been. It hasn't even been a match. It's been commercials. We got Big E and John Morrison. They're off commentary now. They're actually both at ringside, cheering the relevant people on. How would you book Matt Riddle? Tricky. I think Matt Riddle is very, very tricky to book because I don't think he's going to be NXT champ. I think there's too many people ahead of him, like Tommaso, like Keith Lee, like Kushida. I really do like Kushida. So I think it's very difficult for Matt Riddle. I would have him come out at number 2 at the Royal Rumble. I would have him going after Roderick Strong's North American Championship again. And maybe they do a ladder match at WrestleMania for the North American Championship. And that would allow you to get a few people onto the WrestleMania card. So I think I would do that. I think a North American Championship ladder match at WrestleMania. So you'd get Riddle, Brock, a few minutes at the Rumble. And then have him involved for the North American Championship. Get some other people involved. And build towards a match at WrestleMania. And then, honestly, at that point, superstar shakeup, and who knows? Does he stay? He might move to SmackDown. Does he stay in NXT? You might want to move him. Feel free, by the way, to let me know what you would do. When people are asking me how I would book it, drop your thoughts in the chat. I'm sure you are already. But yeah, feel free. Go ahead. How would you book Matt Riddle? Kicks coming in from the Miz, by the way. We're still underway with this match. But we got the kicks coming into the chest of Kofi. Miz backing away. Goes for another kick. Kofi underneath. Looking for an SOS, but it's reversed. Skull crushing, but nice escape. Some nice reversals in this match. These two obviously have wrestled each other quite a few times. SOS. 1, 2. Shoulder up by the Miz. I'm not complaining if Miz and Bray are done, because Miz was never going to win that feud. So what was the point? Well, at least it did give us Fun House Bray. Because Fiend was in a feud with Daniel, it meant that Miz had to go after Fun House Bray. So we got that out of it. But yeah, if Miz is now going to move on and focus on something else, I'm all right with it as well. Nice, like a Pele kick by Kofi, who's now climbing up the ropes. Gonna look for an axe handle, but Miz scouted it. Now Miz is going for a figure 4, and he's got it. Figure 4, middle of the ring. Oh, Kofi is in pain, man. He's nowhere near the ropes as well. Big E trying to encourage Kofi, who is making his way across. And he does get to the ropes. Kofi goes to the outside. Miz coming out. Oh, Miz kicking out at Big E. Miz and Big E. Miz is like, I haven't done anything wrong. Oh, Morrison! Morrison comes crashing down onto Big E. Miz, though, with the distraction, the skull crushing finale. 1, 2, 3, there we go. Miz beats Kofi thanks to the distraction from John Morrison. Morrison will end up attacking Miz, because the last time we saw Morrison was when attacked by the Miz, and they will play it off that he's been injured all this time. I could see that happening, actually. I could see Morrison attacking Miz, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Unless they're going to do that at Mania. Do you think we get Miz and Morrison versus New Day at the Rumble? and then Morrison turns on the Miz, and then they do the match at WrestleMania. We could maybe get that. It's a really good shout. Lacey Evans versus Sasha Banks tonight. You're nasty. That's a really good shout, actually. What? Braun versus Shinsuke? Ooh. And the Usos versus King Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. Usos with... Oh, hello, Firefly Fun House. Is that now? Is that now? Is this the thing that's happening now? Here he is. He's whispering. Why is he whispering? Okay. He wants to tell us something. What is it? Oh, he loves us! Oh! I love that. I want to tell you something. Oh, I love you. Ooh. Okay, here we go. It says, I'm looking at you, Daniel Bryan. Whatever the opposite of love is, that's how he feels about you, Daniel. Opposite of love is hate. You've been pretty naughty. Real freaking naughty. You're in a whole heap of trouble. We're seeing when Daniel turned. Bray already got payback for that, though. Just wants to hurt you. Bye. See you. Bye. Love you. Not you, Daniel. Yeah, what I don't understand, right? What I don't understand is that Bray says that he never forgets, and then showed Daniel being in the Wyatt family, and of course he was. And he turned on the Wyatt family. We got that great moment with Daniel at the top of the cage on Raw. I think it was Raw. And he was at the top of the cage doing the yes chants, and he'd just attacked Bray. But the thing was, Bray had a match with Daniel at the Royal Rumble. I want to say like 2014. So I kind of feel like... And Bray won that match as well. So I feel like Bray has already got revenge for Daniel doing that. So I don't really understand why The Fiend is now so adamantly going after Daniel Bryan. He says he never forgets, and it certainly implies that's what he's remembering. Fun little thing, though. I mean, we didn't see any puppets in the Funhouse there. There wasn't really a theme or anything. It was just a promo. But it was still pretty fun. And, yeah, it's nice to have a Firefly Funhouse to talk about. It's been a few weeks. So, I mean, I really do like this feud. But I wish there was a better reason why The Fiend was going after Daniel. Because I just feel like Bray has already got his revenge for Daniel doing that all those years ago. Lovely Bray. Days, where are the puppets? I don't know. On holiday? I don't know. Well, you're not Daniel. Who do you think will win the men's and the women's Royal Rumble? I get asked this a lot. An awful lot. I'm probably just going to do it as a separate video, and then I can point people that way. My gut feeling is that it's more than likely going to be Roman for the men, but I would love for it to be CM Punk. And I think it could be Ronda or Shayna for the women. Days, to be fair, I don't think John was a heel. I just think it was a don't talk about my buddy type thing. I don't know, dude. Didn't he call someone in the front row a douchebag? Like, that's a pretty heel thing to do. Certainly on your first, like within the first 5 minutes. I think within the first 5 minutes of you coming back, you call someone in the front row a douchebag. You're sneaking into heel territory. I mean, you could look at The Miz and say The Miz isn't a full-blown heel yet. But they're on the road. It's happening. They're on the road. Daniel's going to win the Rumble after losing to The Fiend. Days, when will we see the puppets again? I don't know, bud. I mean, I don't think they've gone anywhere. There was just no need for them to be a part of that promo. You might even get another Firefly Fun House episode later on in this show, so I wouldn't worry about it. Shout out to Benicio. Hope you are well. Your beard is quite nice. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Days, I could help you pick the right laptop. Feel free to send me suggestions. Because I keep seeing a lot of different laptops. And equally, I keep seeing conflicting reports. Oh, hello. Bit of breaking news. What's this? Oh, no. They're saying that every Tuesday on WWE Backstage, there is breaking news. And this Tuesday, they're going to have the Usos. There we go, the Usos. Right, we're backstage with Mandy and Sonya. Sonya says, it's all going to start tonight. I'm going to be in your corner. Oh, hello. She's got like a box. Can you see that box? She says, I need to just take care of one thing. She's got a big box. Please be for Otis. Please be for Otis. It's going to be for Otis, innit? What is it? Cakes. I reckon they're cakes. Alright, this looks like Elias. Ah, he doesn't even get much of an intro, does he? The guy just went, Elias. Walk with Elias. Tell you what, I am loving that Mandy Otis thing. Loving it. Oh, I like the stage. Look at that. The stage with the all black with the lights, and it's got like a real like Kiss. You know the band Kiss? Kind of looks like their logo, but it says Elias. Right, he's got the crowd clapping along. I can't remember if he's a face or a heel anymore. Days, ketchup or mayo on fish finger sandwich? I'd be going mayo. I'm a big mayo fan. Mandy has to win. Paula says, good night. I need to sleep, but can I get a shout out? Yeah? Shout out to you, Paula Parrett. It's going to be a plot twist for Ziggler. I bet it's something from Mandy's parents' bakery. Brian is saying, who's going to interrupt? I don't know. So he says, whatever's in Rowan's cage has got to be pretty horrific to look at. Can it be any worse than a Lana Lashley sex tape? I don't know if he gets interrupted anymore. It's kind of like he comes out to bring people up to speed with current storylines. Don't lie. I'm not a fan. Shout out to Chris Murphy. Days, who do you think's going to come out at number 30? Well, I'd love for it to be CM Punk. I think it could be a decent name.
Like, could be Edge. If they can't get Punk, then you might get Edge come out at 30. I'll be more surprised if Edge isn't in the Rumble at this stage. So many rumors. Is Elias entering? He says, at the Royal Rumble, I'm going to show him what WWE stands for. So I think Elias is saying he will be in the Royal Rumble. All right, here we go. Here's Otis. Ugh. He's such a good actor. I love him. Royal Rumble. Here's Mandy. Here we go. I love Otis. I want an Otis toy. That's what I want. I can go with my Huskus. Here we go. What is it? Oh, it's a cake that says I'm sorry. And it's got a little bulldozer. Because they're heavy machinery. Yeah. I love it, man. I love it. I would love a Otis. If anyone from WWE is watching this or even sees this clip, right? I need an Otis plush toy, yeah? With a little sad face like that. I need that. Maybe a little tucky that comes with it as well that could go in his pocket or something. You can't really have one without the other. They are a tag team, so maybe a little tucky that can tuck into his pocket, but it needs to be an Otis like this. Amazing. My heart is excited, says IB Gang. Your heart is excited. I tell you what, I've got real excitement in my liver right now. I am feeling this in my liver. Otis is going to win the Rumble. I'm sorry, my cake, but you deserve to be in the trash. Days, do you see Sonya turning on Mandy? Maybe one day, but I'm not sensing it's happening anytime soon. Cab Nation, KAB Nation says, I'm about to cry. I love this. Monica King says, this is the best love story in WWE. It really is. It really is. They're telling it so well. So well. I'm sure there's going to be a few more bumps in the road, but man, if they actually kiss at some point, which I know sounds lame, but if there's a moment, you know, people are it's going to be like Miss Elizabeth and Macho Man, innit? Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Shout out from Manila. Shout out to John Elite 45. Shout out to Callum Jess. Thank you for joining us. Days, wasn't Fire and Desire were going to split up, or was that a rumor? I didn't hear they were going to split up. I heard they were going to have like some kind of a love angle thing. There was a lot of talk that was going to be, they were going to get into some kind of a relationship, and that was going to be a story, an LBQT. Is it LBQT? Why can I not remember that? But yeah, they were gonna go down that road, and nothing happened. They've clearly gone in a different direction now, and now they're doing Otis and Mandy storyline, which I love. And everyone loves. I have not seen one person on Twitter laying into that story. Not one person. Everyone absolutely loves it. And it's a slow build, isn't it? It's a slow build. Like, you feel like something's going to go wrong tonight as well. Maybe Dolph trashes the cake and Mandy sees it this time, or I don't know. I love it. I agree with Monica King. I absolutely love it. Otis with Mandy is a relationship I can get behind. Let me tell you right now, Otis and Mandy it makes me believe in love again. It really does. It makes me believe in love. Evan, shout out to you, Evan Harris. I bet that at WrestleMania, Mandy and Otis are gonna have a moment. That'd be a perfect place to do it. Just keep teasing it, keep going along, and then you're absolutely right. Something at WrestleMania, a WrestleMania moment. Oh, I'd love that. I really would. Although John Cena and Nikki Bella had a WrestleMania moment, and it didn't really work out well. Right, we got Alexa Bliss on the way. Is it Alexa? She's coming out with Nikki. Alexa Bliss. I don't know if this is a singles match or what. I think it is. Do you think they are really good friends in real life? I look at them and they're just so different. They really strike me as being very different people. Lexi. Me and Lexi. There we go. It is Alexa Bliss on her own. Wow. That text is huge. Days, what could happen to the cage at the Rumble? Happen to the cage? Oh, it's against Mandy? Should have known. Should have known. What will happen to the cage? Oh, you mean Rowan's cage? Wow, maybe we get the answer. Here we go. I love this music. So, Mandy on her way down with Sonya Deville. Otis and Mandy both win the Battle Royal and then they kiss. They wanted to work together. They pitched it to Vince and he approved. Who? Mandy and Sonya? Because it doesn't seem like that story's going anywhere. I tell you what, if Mandy is just playing Otis, if there's going to be a turn, if this is just to make Mandy like the biggest heel, she really will come off as the big. If she is playing with his heart, I won't cope. I will not cope, let me tell you. Right, here we go. We're underway. Mandy Rose versus Alexa Bliss. Oh, Mandy pushing at the face of Alexa. Backs away. Alexa to win. Days, I love you, but I need to go to sleep. No worries, buddy. Thank you for joining us. Her entrance is done so well. I agree, Chalmers. I agree. Oh, Mandy is pushing Alexa, talking a bit of trash to her as well. Pushing her in the face. And Alexa's just like smiling. Slaps back. Mandy Rose goes down. Alexa hurling Mandy into the corner. Firing kicks into the midsection. So, Alexa. Nice. Oh, man, that was a huge slap. Alexa doing really well here, but she's got caught and she's been driven into the corner by Mandy. Mandy can be really good heel. She's got that attitude. Yes, which is what's worrying me. I could definitely see her using Otis. I could definitely see her doing that. Mandy to the outside. Alexa, nice. Bit of a basement drop kick. Oh, Sonya. Sonya's got up onto the edge of the ring, but Nikki Cross trying to get involved. Mandy is going to capitalize with a knee. Alexa went down. 1, 2. Oh, kick out. Thought Mandy had it. I thought Mandy had won it then. I swear, if she breaks Otis's heart, I will literally sign to WWE and beat her up. Yes! I would love that. I would love that. Do you imagine if Monica King got so angry she actually signed with WWE, learned how to wrestle? Oh, you'd have a hell of a grudge, wouldn't you? Because you'd be like, you're like dedicating like several years of your life. Go to the gym, learn how to wrestle, go through the indies, get signed to NXT, get called up to SmackDown, just so you could get into the ring with Mandy Rose and go, no! Slap her and walk off. And she'd be so confused because it'll be like 7 years later. And she's getting slapped around now anyway. Days, my mum said I can stay up 1 more hour because it's the weekend. Yeah. Awesome, my friend. Well, that's good because SmackDown's only on for another hour and 7 minutes. So whatever's going to go down, you'll be able to see. Nice double knees by Alexa. Looking for a standing moonsault double knees. Who's coming out? Oh, what are you doing? Otis is coming out. This has got bad news written all over it. Or has it got good news? 1, 2, 3, Mandy wins! It's got good news! Mandy wins! What is that? What is that? Is that flirting? I don't know what that is. Yeah, come on, Otis! Ooh. Don't know about you, but I'm getting a little bit hot here. Woo. He has got all the moves. Literally all the moves. Yeah! Whoa! I feel really dirty doing that. Feel really dirty. But equally, I am totally on board with Otis right now. I tell you, if anyone's watching from WWE, if we can arrange a date or something, because that man has got it going on. It's like something in nature, isn't it? You know, when you're watching like a nature documentary, you see it in nature. Like, you know, one bird dancing around like this to another bird. You know what I mean? I feel like he's getting all of his seduction tips from, like, life on Earth, planet Earth, things like this. He's like, I saw a bird do this. I'm going to try it. Matt Baker says, hey man, I love watching the stream. Probably not the past couple of minutes, but don't have friends that watch wrestling. So it's like watching wrestling with a friend. Absolutely, but that's exactly why it's here. Keep it up. You're awesome. Matt Baker, thank you so much. Really, really do appreciate the support. And man, honestly, I cannot stress this enough. That is the whole purpose of these streams. In fact, Wrestling Days, I know a lot of you will know this story, but Wrestling Days started because I was watching wrestling and I had no one to talk to. So I would go into a Wrestling Days, I would be thinking about what I had just seen, and I had to think about it because there was no one to talk to about it. And you can kind of go to Twitter, but you know you're just going to get a load of stupid responses, negativity, get into arguments, blah, blah, blah. It's a toxic place. So, yeah, that's why these exist, because, well, I mean, look at this. I'm in this room on my own. I'd be watching this on my own as well. So I always love hearing from people that are watching on their own. I love hearing from people that are watching with friends and partners as well, absolutely. But yeah, the channel started for that exact reason. So shout out to you, buddy. Hope you're enjoying the show. I gotta be honest, I thought the start of the show was a bit... The Morrison thing was a bit... But man, that Otis stuff. I love that Otis stuff. So on board with that. Love it. Days, how did it feel hearing Jomo's theme? It was great to hear it again. It's nice that it's not changed. Just a bit disappointing he didn't come out with like a killer jacket and whatever. He kind of came out in like casual attire. So I would have liked a little bit more, but we'll probably get that when he actually wrestles. And then, yeah, they turned him heel, or seemingly started turning him heel. So, a bit confused. Not my favourite open. Not the way I would have used John Morrison. But yeah, Otis and Mandy Rose. I am so into that story. Right, we're going back. We're almost into the second hour. We know that we got Sasha and Lacey. We might be going straight to that match, actually, because we did see Lacey backstage just before we went to commercial break. Days, will Mandy and Sonya still have a romance storyline? Don't think so. Unless Mandy is stringing Otis along, and then it's, you know, they'll go into a storyline where she's actually in a relationship with Sonya or something like that. She's not even interested in guys. They could maybe do that swerve. I hope they don't, but they could go that way if they wanted to make her a massive heel. Massive heel. Right, we've got Lacey Evans on the way. Lacey Evans versus Sasha. Oh, no. That. Oh, my God, I can't spell. Sasha Banks. There we go. Mandy finally wins something, and she's digging my man Otis. Maybe WWE isn't trash. Well, let's see. Hopefully it all plays out in a nice way. But I am fearing the worst. She puts her hat on the ring announcer. And here comes Sasha, the legit boss. I love Lacey as a face. Boss time! He has to shout that, doesn't he? Good evening, Days. What have I missed? Shout out to Wrestling Mania. John Morrison came out on Miz TV as a heel. Seemingly as a heel. He distracted Kofi, and Miz was able to get the win. I'm just watching because there's no sign of Sasha. I don't know. Bailey's on screen. Sasha isn't here tonight. So, Sasha's not here. She had to finish her rap album. So what does that mean? Lacey says, I'm not shocked that there's no Sasha tonight. I'm going to go to AEW in Salt Lake City. I usually make signs. So look for, I lost my belt at Applebee's down the street. And or fight me at a game of No Mercy, Kenny Omega. Very good. I like the Applebee's one. Bailey is beautiful. There's a USA chant for Lacey. Hell yeah! Big USA chant. Here we go. Bring out Hogan. Bum, 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 ba-na-na-na. Ugh. Or Sergeant Slaughter. Or Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Lacey says, why don't you come out and face me for the title right now? Bailey says, I'm not your snot-nosed kid. So Lacey's going after Bailey. There we go. Bailey backstage can see that Lacey's on her way. Applebee's one is golden. Yeah, it's brilliant. Right, we're backstage with Lacey. Oh, there. She went to Bailey. How did she not see her? How did she not see her? She literally walked down the corridor, went to the door, and, like, Bailey just attacked her. She must have just been stood there. Put on your mom jeans and go home. Literally, look, there's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to hide. She must have seen Bailey as she approached the dressing room. Don't understand. Lacey was trying for a woman's right. Referee says, save it for the ring. Sasha probably is there. She probably is. Bailey versus Lacey. Sasha's going to attack. It's a trap. It was a rubbish trap. Right, where are we? We've got about 55 minutes to go. And they're talking about Fiend and Daniel Bryan right now. Shout out to Domingo Pablo. Why does Bailey get her own locker room? Maybe because she's champ. I guess. Don't know. Maybe there's something whereby all the champs get their own locker rooms. That was cool. That was cool last week where we saw the Fiend. And Daniel with a suicide dive. The red light coming on. Into the barricade. Bang! It was really cool. Lacey Evans needs a hug. Okay. Kayla Braxton. Kayla Braxton backstage with Daniel Bryan. Not much of a reaction again from the crowd. Did you hear the crowd then? Yeah. Daniel Bryan. Yeah. Daniel says he remembers everything as well. I remember outsmarting him. The Fiend doesn't like that he changed me for the better. Good promo. Haha, the Fiend can't break me. Love that. Daniel says he can be beaten. And I'm going to do it for the Universal Championship. I could see Daniel winning that. Oh, look at this. You got Rambling Rabbit.
Rambling Rabbit giving a yes chant. You're... No way! The secret to defeating the Fiend? There's a secret to defeating the Fiend? Rambling Rabbit says the Fiend is beatable? Oh, turn off the red light. Take off his mask. Take off his mask. Turn off the red light. Something along those lines. That's huge. Rambling Rabbit has been teasing that for a long time. Rambling Rabbit has been trying to say something for a long time. And it seems like that was it. Rambling Rabbit finally gets his message out that the Fiend is beatable. And he says, I can tell you how. Obviously, he couldn't, because then Bray came and put his hand over the mouth of Rambling Rabbit. No wonder they keep turning him into, like, Bohemian breakfast spread. Whose side are you on, Rambling Rabbit? But yeah, that is huge. That is absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. I really, really like that development. And I'm thinking turning off the red light or removing the mask. One of those will likely mean that you beat the Fiend. Or maybe just a low blow. Perhaps it's just... perhaps his weakness is the same weakness that all guys have. It's just a low blow. Just give him a low blow and you'll win the match. Roger Rabbit to WWE confirmed. The crowd is weak. Crowd is very, very quiet. I don't understand. I don't know if it's a case that they've turned the crowd down. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Rambling Rabbit is a snitch. He is a snitch. Snitches get stitches. He needs to remember that. Snitches get stitches. I'm going to murder that rabbit. Well, the rabbit is going to tell, isn't he? He is going to tell on the Fiend at some point. And I can see Rambling Rabbit costing the Fiend. Maybe Rambling Rabbit is the one that's going to cost the Fiend the title. Joe, hello, Joe. How you doing, buddy? Just out of work. Retail hours, lol. Late retail hours. What's happened so far? How has the show been? Did you hear that Jody met Bray at the show and mentioned the Facebook group? Amazing! I did hear. I heard at the start of the stream. To be honest, I haven't been on Twitter much because of decorating that's going on here at the moment. But yes, I did hear. I will have a look to see what she's uploaded about meeting him, which I'm really pleased for her. I'm over the moon for her. I know it's a big deal for her, so yeah, thrilled. I'm trying to remember what your other question was. What have you missed? What you've missed is not a great deal. Probably the highlight was the Otis and Mandy moment. Seems like that storyline is really coming along. But we've just seen Rambling Rabbit appear, and Rambling Rabbit says the Fiend can be beaten. Andy said that he will tell Daniel how you can beat the Fiend. So, yeah, we didn't find out because Bray got involved, but that was huge. That moment was huge. Rambling Rabbit reveals a secret. That is such a big moment. Rambling Rabbit will be turned into jelly, only to be reincarnated and cost the Fiend. To be honest, I don't think he's going to cost the Fiend right now. I just think that in the future, whatever he knows will come out. I think whatever he knows is going to come out eventually. I don't know who benefits from it. I don't know who's going to be the one to beat the Fiend.
but I think that they will likely do it with Ramblin' Rabbit's information. So, yeah, I'm really into that. That's a really good storyline development. I think people would be getting a bit tired of The Fiend if he was, like, unbeatable. I think it's important that he's not completely unbeatable. There is a way to beat him. It's huge. Days, do you see any returns or debuts tonight? I don't think so. We've already had John Morrison, so I'm not expecting anything else. Maybe Bray loses to Daniel. He could. I feel like it might be a bit too soon. But he could. He absolutely could. Destroy his hurt glove or knock the mask off. Yep. Let me know. Do you know, it's a really good question. How is The Fiend beaten? Let me know in the chat. How is The Fiend beaten? How are you supposed to get the mask off? I'm guessing just pull at it with your life. If you want to survive and get past The Fiend. But yeah, what do you think? I always knew that rabbit was hiding something. Right, we got Shinsuke coming out. Shinsuke Nakamura. There we go. Shinsuke versus Strowman. They always do that for Nakamura, and I don't know why, but when Nakamura comes out, they always put that roof on the arena, and I don't know why they do it. It's just like CGI, but they don't do it for anyone else. The way to beat him is to have him slip on rabbit juice. I think the red light gives him powers, so you take that away. This is how you beat The Fiend. You show him every John Cena meme ever. Matt Baker says, hope it's not the mask. That would ruin him. What, if he did take the mask off and that's how you beat him? I've always thought it was the mask. I've always said that I think it'd be really cool if Aleister Black took on The Fiend, hit Black Mass, and the mask came off and The Fiend collapsed down. So I've always thought the mask might have something to do with it. It could be the red light. Really could. The way to beat The Fiend is to cancel the Firefly Fun House, and then he loses his fan. Oh, I think he's got more than one fan. Break the head lantern? Oh, that's a good idea. Ignore him. How about that? Don't talk to him. Just ignore him. Perhaps he thrives on attention. Perhaps he's an attention seeker. That's how you beat The Fiend. You have to ignore him. The Fiend is unbeatable, but does love company. Do you know what? Do you know how you beat The Fiend? With love. That's how you beat The Fiend. The Fiend is darkness, so you beat The Fiend with love. So that means that Otis could beat The Fiend because he is in love with Mandy Rose. How about that? How cool would that be? The only person that can beat The Fiend is someone that is in love. Or just found love. So it's fresh, like Otis. Otis is fresh. Eric Duriggi says, Days, I'm getting McDonald's. Do you want any? I'm alright, bud. I'm alright, thank you. Not like me to pass on a McDonald's, but there's so much going on. There's so much excitement right now. I think I'll pass. I will love The Fiend. You get into his heel and make the past haunt him. Take the heel glove off. Ooh, I'll tell you what, there's some good theories, man.
watch Otis make love to Mandy Rose could horrify the Fiend into submission. Alex Shelley has made his NXT debut tonight. Amazing. Can't wait to see him with Kushida again as the Time Splitters. We are underway, by the way, with Strowman against Nakamura, but I don't believe this is for the title. And he's chasing Sammy. Sammy running away. Oh, Cesaro getting involved. Cesaro hurling Strowman into the ring post. Massive kick, and Strowman goes over the barricade. Amazing. As we go to another commercial break. Yeah. That's what I live for, commercial breaks. So, yes, if you are just joining us, big news. Rambling Rabbit revealing that the Fiend can be beaten, and he knows how. So, he's going to share this information, I'm sure. We just don't know when. We don't know who with. We don't know who he's going to share the information with, but the Fiend can be beaten. I really do think that's huge news, because I really do think that's the news that Ramblin' Rabbit has been teasing all this time, you know? This is the news that he has been popping up and been trying to tell us and has been silenced over. So I do think it's a big deal. And yeah, I think it's very interesting to think about how that would work. How would the Fiend be beaten? What beats the Fiend? Is it the lights being turned off? Is it the heel glove? Is it the hurt glove? Maybe the heel glove on the Fiend heals the Fiend or something. I don't know. That would look stupid though, wouldn't it? Daniel, like, trying to put the heel glove onto the Fiend. I hope it's not that. That would be silly. So it's definitely going to be that. Knowing WWE and how they book things, it's definitely going to be that now. Daniel needs to make the Fiend feel small and alone. Ooh, his weakness is being alone. Will you make a conspiracy video about his possible weaknesses? Yes, we will. I wanna give it some thought, see what people are saying, see what theories are, and kind of take it from there. Because my initial reaction, as you saw, was turn off the red light, take the mask off. Those are my two initial thoughts. I like the idea of Hurt and Heel Glove being involved. I do actually like the idea of the love thing. I like the idea of, like, I don't want to say, like, with hugs. I don't want to say you can beat the Fiend by hugging him, because that's so lame. But the Fiend is darkness. So he is going to thrive on anger. He is going to thrive on depression, you know? It's darkness. So how does he react to someone that is love? How does he react to someone that's positive? How does he react to positivity? He feeds off negativity. That might be why everyone's turned heel. Because he makes them angry. He makes them angry and then maybe feeds off that anger. So maybe the way you beat him isn't by getting angry. Don't get angry. Don't allow the Fiend to feed off that. I've just blown my own mind. I have just blown my own mind. I think that could work, to be honest. Nakamura with a big knee knocks down Strowman. Headlock by Nakamura. That is, how can Ramblin' Rabbit make the Fiend lose?
Well, he knows how he can lose. He knows his weakness, maybe his only weakness. So if he tells Daniel that, then the Fiend could lose. The Lantern. Yeah, the Lantern. Good shout. The Lantern. It could be like the urn. I probably should be writing these down, shouldn't I? Ryan W. I know the chat has mentioned the Lantern. A pen anywhere. There's never a pen. Is that when you want a pen, there's never a pen. A pen. No pen. No pens in this house. Wasn't that depressing? There is literally no pens. Okay, I'll have to remember it. I think the Lantern is a very good shout. Maybe it's something related to the pictures on the wall. How? Wonder how? We need to have a look at this match as well because Strowman is doing very, very well at the moment. Very, very well. Although Nakamura has just managed to hit a Kinshasa out of nowhere. 1, 2... Shoulder up. Kick out from a Kinshasa. How do you beat the Fiend? Nakamura was looking for another Kinshasa. Finally, Strowman gets back into the title scene. Right, Cesaro's got a chair, but the referee has spotted it. Nakamura's got the IC title. Looks like he's going to smash Strowman with it. Strowman ducks underneath. Picks up. Power slam. 1, 2. And Braun pins. Shinsuke. Matt Baker says red light would save him. The mask is... Red light would save him. The mask is the Fiend. There we go. He's got the IC title in his hands. He's not looking to give it back. I could see Strowman with that. Down, 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 down. And he's actually holding it up in the air. Sami Zayn has just pinched it from him. I figured the Fiend would exact all Bray's revenge and then disappear except for when he's needed. The Lantern, I feel, is the key. It's been the only untouchable constant in everything, and it can be flipped. Only way to beat Funhouse Bray is with the Fiend's mask. Okay, Sheamus seems to have a bit of an issue with Shorty G here. So he says, I showed Shorty G last week just how much SmackDown is about to change. He really turned him inside out as well with that brogue. That was a massive brogue. It's a shame in a way that they didn't bring Sheamus back as the Bar and then put him in just a little match with The Fiend. And then, because he's gone back to his original gimmick, would have been perfect to have had The Fiend change him, because that's what The Fiend does. Shorty G says, embrace who you are, and I agree. Chaos. Right, we got the Usos coming up. Is this the main event tonight? The Usos. Oh, no, it's up next. Would next be the main event? Don't think so. Usos versus King Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. That is coming up next. Live next. Days, could Ramblin' Rabbit tell the secret during the Fiend match? He could, yes, he could, absolutely. I don't know if I want that to happen, though, because I don't want the Fiend to lose. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. You could have Ramblin' Rabbit pop up during the match and say, you know, take the mask off. And maybe Daniel tries and doesn't succeed, or, you know, destroy the lantern or something like that. Maybe he tries and doesn't succeed, but then it's out there and we now know how you do it, how you beat the Fiend. I really like the idea, though, that Ramblin' Rabbit is lying. I really like the idea that Ramblin's like, you've got to destroy the lantern. And so they destroy the lantern, and all it does is it makes the Fiend even angrier. And it's not a weakness at all. And then you see Ramblin' Rabbit just laughing his head off. I like that. Book it, Vince. Book it. The reason for declining views is up next. Snoring Corbin. Oh, I like that. Snoring Corbin. Days, is the Fiend a clown? Then if so, what is the weakness of all clowns? What is the weakness of all clowns? I don't know. What's the weakness of a clown? A desk job? I don't know. Usos versus Boring Corbin and John Morrison, basically. John Morrison 2.0. Usos and fringes do not mix. Yeah, the new hairs is that they've got. The new hairstyle is a little bit concerning. Little bit concerning. I'm not feeling it, to be honest. Ramblin' Rabbit secret. That's what I'm still thinking about. We're just at commercial break, if anyone was wondering. We got half an hour left of the show. The big talking point tonight is Ramblin' Rabbit telling Daniel Bryan that he knows how the Fiend can be beaten. And that's caused a lot of excitement. We didn't get the answer, but it's caused a lot of excitement. Plus, I really did enjoy Otis and Mandy and that segment as well. So it's been a couple of things tonight that have been fun. The way you beat the Fiend is letting him consume you. So basically, the Fiend's darkness plus their darkness overpowers the Fiend. We've got a little advert for NXT UK TakeOver, which we know is coming this Sunday. To Blackpool. NXT UK TakeOver 2 Blackpool. Should be good, man. This Sunday. We are streaming it as well. So if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe. Make sure that you join us. Hello. There's a present.
What is inside the present? The present for Daniel. Oh, no. It's a decapitated rambling rabbit. I mean, it's fine. He'll be back. Oh, that was Daniel's friend. A dead rambling rabbit in a box. In all fairness, I think Daniel would have preferred chocolates, but who am I? Who am I to say? Rambling rabbit decapitated. Rambling rabbit's dead. I mean, in all fairness, he's died about 20 times in the past, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Trini says, I called it. Usos suck, Wild Samoans rule. Yeah, you're right. Killing Corbin. It's like killing Eve. There we go. What if Rambling Rabbit is dead forever? I don't think so. Damn it, Mercy. I mean, he kind of deserved it. He did kind of deserve it, in all fairness. I gotta say, I've really enjoyed what they've done with the storyline here. I like it. I like it. What's in the box? It was a dead, decapitated Rambling Rabbit. And people say this show is PG. Don't think so. I don't know many PG shows that are putting decapitated rabbits in boxes. Right, Roman is come out. Roman Uso. We're just seeing what happened last week when Roman was attacked. Usos. They obviously came back last week. It's hinting at Bray's head lantern, a decapitated rabbit, decapitated Bray. Days, I want you to know that my brother broke his leg. I'm sorry to hear that, bud. I will never watch wrestling again. Why? Because, if Huskus dies, completely, bud, completely. All clowns are distracted easily by small children. And if you punch them in the nose, it hurts. You think that's what it is? You think you just got to bop him in the nose? Do you imagine that? If the secret was you've got to just bop him on the nose? That would be lame. That would be lame. The secret is you got to punch him in the nose. If you call the Fiend by his real name, he loses his powers. Days, was that blood on Rambling Rabbit's face? I did not see. I don't know, to be honest. He was dead. His ear had been ripped off by the looks of it. Probably by Mercy. This looks like a Roman promo. Promo. Liam Costa says, I showed my uncle NWA and now he loves it. Of course he does. Anyone that watches NWA falls in love with it. So shout out to you, Liam Costa, for doing that. Roman says, I've always had backup. So yeah, Liam Costa, shout out to you. Shout out to your uncle as well. #legends. Does he? Roman says, my family came back and helped me in a major way. He says he's going to win the Rumble and main event WrestleMania for a 5th time. Okay, so Usos are coming out. Not really much to that promo, to be honest. Just kind of setting the scene, I think, for people that don't watch every week. He says that the end of 2019 was a little bit rough. He's going to win the Rumble, headline WrestleMania for the 5th time. I think he could. I agree. I really do. There we go. Usos versus King Corbin. Days, did Bray murder Ramblin' Rabbit or Mercy? We don't know. I can't say for sure. I would imagine that Bray probably threw him at Mercy, and Mercy took a bite out of his ear, because all of this seemed to be missing, as if Mercy had bitten it. So I would guess Mercy, but I know as much as you. Some nice jackets. Are they chalk line jackets? They are. New Usos chalk line jackets. Day 1-ish. Oh, the lights just flickered. But I don't think that was anything to do with the Fiend. Usos say that it's been real rough being away from the WWE. Queen Corbin. He calls him Queen Corbin. I don't know why, but that really tickled me. The mask is key. Lights flickered. They did flicker. I'm presuming it was some kind of power problem. Dace, do you think this means John Morrison is officially on SmackDown? I think so, yes. Right, here comes Queen Corbin. Don't know why that tickled me so much, but I did. I really enjoyed it. I was the 5th sub in Feb of 2016, and my cousin broke his leg. What, your cousin broke his leg in 2016? I heard rabbits only have 20 lives. I hope that's not the last time he dies. Right, Queen Corbin is cutting a promo as she comes down to the ring. So, King Corbin, I think, is going to be in the Rumble as well. Because he said, if anyone's winning it, I'm winning it. Oh, okay. He says, I want to whoop your ass twice in one night. Roman, King Corbin. So it looks like we're getting Roman versus King Corbin at Royal Rumble. I'd be all right with that as long as there's a stipulation. Loser can't enter the Rumble. How about that? Right, so we've got 19 minutes. We're slowly making our way to the main event match. Usos over the top. Come crashing down onto the security. Days, change King Corbin to Queen Corbin. Yeah, why not? You only live once, don't you? Lol. Oh. There we go. Right, we've gone to commercial break. Rusty Shackleford 360 says, I am enjoying watching the show with the company of your stream tonight. Thanks for being watching, buddy. Really appreciate it. Thank you, bud. Really, honestly, really appreciate it. I was looking forward to this show, and I've got to be honest, I think a little bit of momentum was kind of lost at the start. Like the first hour, us just having a chat, brilliant, love it, always love it. But I was really looking forward to John Morrison. And when they brought him out and used him the way that they did, I was kind of really perplexed by it. And I was like, I could kind of understand because The Miz has to turn heel. And they definitely want to do Morrison and Miz. And I think a tag match against New Day makes sense. I can see why they've done it. But just bringing him back as a heel, just, it doesn't sit quite right, you know. I don't want to be booing him. I don't want to be booing John Morrison. Not after him being away for 9 years. So yeah, I think that took a little bit of wind out of my sail a little bit. But we got it back. We definitely got it back with Otis and Mandy. Loved that bit. And then of course what went down with Ramblin' Rabbit. That was huge. Absolutely brilliant moment. So yeah, there's been a couple of moments. Show overall hasn't been the best, I'm not gonna lie. Really, those are the two standout moments for me. But not a bad watch. But I really appreciate you guys joining us. If I was sitting here on my own, I don't know if I would have made it to the end. I don't know. I might have just given up because we've seen The Fiend now. And I really don't like Queen Corbin. Really don't like her at all. Days, do you think WWE need more factions like the Undisputed Era? Don't know. Maybe. Don't know. I mean, you've got the New Day. You've got the OC. Lucha House Party, if they're still a thing. I literally have got no idea. You've got Imperium. Feels like there's a faction on every brand. Feels like every brand has got a faction. So there's definitely people for them to feud with. But, yeah, maybe you could get another one in. I mean, saying that, the Nakamura, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, that's a faction of 3 people. They just need a name. I don't think they've given themselves a name. You could argue you've got Roman and the Usos as the bloodline. There's a few, actually, when you think about it. We're just seeing earlier tonight with the skull-crushing finale on Kofi. Shout out to famous KJ Carter. Do you think WWE is failing? Creatively, yes. John Morrison is in action next week. Big E versus John Morrison. So there we go. This is definitely building up towards New Day versus Morrison and Miz. Definitely. And we're at the main event as well, by the way. Usos versus Dolph and Queen Corbin. The bell has rung. We are underway. Bye, Days. I had fun. Gotta leave because you didn't respond. I think I did. I'm sure I shouted you out, bud. Huskus is a legend. I see Bailey tonight is beautiful. Big E versus Morrison. That'll be amazing next week. Days, do a dab. Done. That is so 2018. Maybe even before. See you later. Cool and fun time with you, Bade, in a bit. There's a team called The Inner Circle. They're on AEW, aren't they? Days, can you touch on the Women's Rumble match? Io Shirai is my pick to win, even though she won't. We've touched on it a little bit. I think there's a chance that you could get a surprise, but it's hard to know who that surprise would be. I don't think you're getting AJ Lee. but it would be amazing if we did. I mean, truly amazing. There was rumors that Paige could be in the Rumble, not win it, but just be in it, because she only needs to go over the top rope, and there are ways that you can do that delicately. So, you know, if she can take that bump, then they might have her in. Again, I don't know how likely that is. Layla is someone that could be in the Rumble. There's a few names that we've not seen. Bull Nakano. They could try and get Bull Nakano. So there's a few like women's legends that they could try and get into the Rumble. To be honest, winners, I think Ronda's got to be mentioned, and I think Shayna Baszler's got to be mentioned. I would love Ruby Riott to come back, but I don't know how close we are to a return. And I'm pretty sure you will get Nia Jax. Nia Jax, I think, is on the verge of coming back. So, yeah, I think Nia Jax is, there's a good shout that you will see her. So, yeah, I mean, plenty to talk about with the Women's Rumble as well. I will do separate videos on those because there is just so much to talk about. But I can sense the excitement now. We're about, 2 weeks away? I think it's 2 weeks, isn't it? And people are talking more and more about the Rumble. It is one of my favourite pay-per-view shows, so totally understand why people are talking about it. Dave's WrestleMania 36 plans got leaked, but I'm sure it's fake. I would be guessing it's fake as well. Nice strike by... Can't see. I always have to look at the tattoos. I think that's Jimmy Uso. Duck underneath. Nice. Inzaguri. It is Jimmy. And the Revival are on the way. The Revival have come running down. So, we've still got 10 minutes to go, and the Revival have come down to ringside to get involved. Have we got another commercial break coming up or something? Yeah, I feel like there is another commercial break on the way. So, Revival have come down. There's been a distraction. And Roman's back. Couple of Superman punches. Yes, I thought there was going to be another commercial break, and there absolutely is. And we'll go into it right now. Roman's back. To be honest, I didn't even know Roman had left. I thought Roman was at ringside. Uso's tattoos resemble Roman's and The Rock's. Yes. They are like Samoan tattoos, aren't they? Days, does it look like the arena keeps getting darker? Can't say I've noticed, to be honest. Ramblin knows how to free Wyndham, who is actually trapped. I said something of the sort months ago. I like that, Jesse. The leak plans had Lesnar versus Tyson Fury, although I can't see that happening. Look, to be honest, I don't believe these are leaked plans, but I've heard rumours that they do want to do that. Do I think it would happen? Probably not. I don't even know if I want to see it, to be honest. I don't want to see it if Tyson Fury is going to try and actually wrestle. I want to see boxer versus MMA star, you know? Which won't be to everyone's taste, but I think it's the best way of getting the best match. So, but yeah, apparently a lot depends on Tyson Fury's match against Deontay Wilder. That's happening in February, and if Tyson Fury loses, then Vince isn't interested. But if Tyson Fury wins, becomes heavyweight champion, then Vince will go all out to get Tyson onto the show. Tyson would do it as well. He's already competed for them once, and how do you say no to WrestleMania? So I think Tyson would do it, but he needs to beat Deontay Wilder in February. Days, how many theory videos are you making? Well, I mean, we'll do one where we talk about what happened tonight with Rambling Rabbit. But that'll probably be it. Brock is 1. Who is 2? I'm hoping it's Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle has said that he wants to retire Brock Lesnar. So, yeah, I think it would be really cool if he doesn't retire him, but at least gets an opportunity to stand opposite him in a ring. So, I'm really hoping it's Matt Riddle. Right, we're just coming back from commercial break. This should be it now until the end of the show. So, we are at the main event. We do have Roman at ringside. Be very interesting to see how this plays out. Whatever happened to Lars Sullivan? Well, he was out injured, and I don't know when he's due back. See you later, Domingo. Rambling Rabbit. Rambling Rabbit's in the chat. Rambling Rabbit says, I'm okay. You didn't look okay. Here we go. So Roman is at ringside, just making sure that no one can come down. It looks like he was looking under the ring. Oh, no, he was checking on one of the Usos. Nice Samoan drop. Is that Jey Uso in the ring? Here we go. Oh, my God. That was brutal. Jey Uso smashed into the corner. Over the top, Jimmy comes crashing down, gets caught. Oh, gets thrown into Roman. Dolph rolling up. 2. Kick out. Against the ropes, looking for a super kick. It was a million miles away. That was an awful super kick. It's one of the worst super kicks I've seen. Completely the wrong camera angle. It looked like he was absolutely nowhere near him. So Corbin hurling Roman into the barricade. Snitches get stitches. So DQ. Because Roman just speared King Corbin. I don't think the Usos are going to mind. How long are we looking at? We got 5 minutes to go. Roman's looking for a powerbomb. Robert Roode is here. Robert Roode? I'd like to see Roode against Roman. All the R's. Roman Reigns versus Robert Roode. Oh, man. Look at this. Rips the shirt. Deep 6 on the outside as well. There's quite a bit happening here. Robert Roode, yeah. Robert Roode versus Roman Reigns with Rambling Rabbit as the referee. I'm back. He's screaming at Roman. I'm back. Look at your family. Look at that. The Usos both down on the outside of the ring. I do like this. Really personal stuff. Look at your family. Here we go. He's picking him up. Oh, spine buster onto a table, and the table didn't break. Oh, they're just kind of staring at Roman. Oh, man, the table didn't break. Oh, now the table broke. Man, that is not good. think the ref is actually checking on Roman here. There's no hand signs or anything. We don't have any hand signals. But that looked like a nasty spine buster. Looks like it actually busted his spine. Botchamania. Table didn't break. I am the table. Man, it was nasty. It was really nasty. So Roman's down. He's got the table now on top of him. Usos are down. We got Robert Roode, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler all celebrating. We're just seeing the moment when the table did break. Right. I think we're done. Ouch, says the big guy. Days, do you speak Dutch? No. The table botched itself. Okay. Score-wise, I'm going to give that 6 out of 10. Get your scores in. I've gone 6 out of 10 because I would struggle. I think the show was fine. It wasn't a disaster. Okay, it wasn't a terrible week. So I think straight away I'm thinking 4 or 5 just because overall it was fine. And then I really like that Rambling Rabbit thing. That definitely gets a mark for that. And it definitely gets a mark for Mandy Rose and Otis. I feel like 7 might be a bit too high. I feel like main event was okay. Morrison thing was a bit I don't know. There was a lot of So I'm feeling a 6. 7 might be a bit high. I could go to a 6.5 or a 6.75. I could do that. Let's see what people are saying. People are saying 6, 9, 6, 7. See Wrestling says 8. Sunny Wolf says 10. Huskus is a Legend says 6.75. Sean says 6.5. Christopher Rogers says stream was 10 out of 10. Shaquem23 says 5. David says 7.5. Shout out to My Freaking Toys. 6 for Jose. We've got 6.5. I feel like we're roughly in line. I think the community is maybe a little higher than me with around about a 6.5, maybe a 6.75. But there's a lot of 5s coming through. Rambling Rabbit 5. Brian says 5.5. IB Gang says 6.25. Trini says 7. Dominica says 2. Brandon is Raw says 5. C James S says 4.1. Jonathan Black, goodbye to you, my friend. 0.1. Clint says 5. Trabante says 7. So I think we're there or thereabouts. Good night, See Wrestling. Shows from least to greatest: SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and then you've got Scott Steiner. That Scott Steiner moment was amazing. Days, can I have a shout out before I leave? Yeah, cool and fun time with Ubaid and Abid. Shout out to you, buddy. So yeah, I thought the show was good. I didn't think it was great or amazing. There's some nice moments. I really do like Otis and Mandy. I really did like Rambling Rabbit thing. I'm trying to think of the other storylines. I wasn't that taken with the Bailey Lacey Evans stuff. Wasn't really into that bit. Trying to think what else we've had. Like, I'm really struggling. Nakamura Braun was okay. Didn't really grab me. Jeez, it comes to something when you can't even remember some of the show. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with the 6. I'm gonna give it a 5. It was pretty decent. Shout out to Tyler. Are you doing NXT this weekend? Yes, and Impact. Shout out to Angelica. The decapitated rabbit makes this a 10 out of 10. It's a really good point. The decapitated rabbit does make this 10 out of 10. Yeah, there's not a great deal else to add, is there? There's not a great deal else to say. I think what we're going to do is we're going to call it quits there. It was an enjoyable show, not an amazing show, but we are back this weekend. If you are watching and you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe. Make sure that you join us because we are back on Sunday. There will be a video tomorrow, which will probably look at how you can beat the Fiend. So I think we'll do that. I think we'll do a video talking about how you can beat the Fiend. And then on Sunday, we've got NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool. We've got Impact. On Monday, we got Raw. Tuesday, NWA. Wednesday, NXT AEW. So if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe. Make sure you join us. And I think that's it for tonight because I think we've pretty much spoken about everything that needs to be spoken about. Really, really do appreciate you guys joining us. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Hope you enjoyed the show. I thought it was a decent show. It certainly wasn't a disaster. And that's all I ask for. That's all I care about. I just don't want to have to suffer through SmackDown, but in all fairness, it tends to be Raw that you have to suffer through. SmackDown tends to be okay, and this was certainly okay. So, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Really do appreciate it, and hopefully, see you again next time. Bye for now.